It's a little bit windy today, so I don't know how well this is going to work, and I'm going on a path I haven't been on before, so again, I don't know how well that's going to work out either. But I'm thinking about argument and debate and truth, I guess, or something like, or the quest to arrive at something like truth, particularly as it relates to YouTube and online discussion. So I don't know if you've had this experience. I've had it many times and witnessed it many times as well, which is you're in a discussion yourself, or a debate, if I can use that term, or you're witnessing a discussion, and you get to the end of it and you're pretty clear that if you're participating, that that you've basically trounced the opposition, that that what you've said has been clearly demonstrated, you've refuted the opposition's points, and that seems to be confirmed by what people in your comment section are saying. Oh yeah, that was really clear. Yeah, you pwned him, or something like that you might say, or that was a well-argued debate and you clearly asserted your point and refuted all his points. It might be that kind of thing. So you think, fine. But then you go to the other video of the person you've been talking to, and they're saying the same thing. They're saying, yeah, I've proved my point there, refuted all that person's points. And in the comment section, there's a lot of people there saying, yeah, you really pawned him, you really won that argument, you refuted all their points. You think there's something funny going on here. And if you see other people doing it, Christians and atheists discussion, for example, or race realists and the opposite of a race realist, race surrealists, you get the same thing, So what's going on there with that? It's very frustrating, because of course when I see that and I'm involved in a discussion, I'm kind of cheered and comforted by the messages of support and the assurances that I've made good points in my comment section. But then, as I say, when I go to the other comment section, and I feel a little bit deflated, but also I think, oh my God, how can these people be so deluded? How can these people not see the points that I've made? How can that person not acknowledge how embarrassing it's been for them? But if I'm honest to myself, I read those comments and I look at that video, and it's very clear that they feel the same way. That they also feel that I must be deluded, and the people who are cheering me on must be deluded, and can't understand how I could possibly think that my points have been stronger. Well, it seems to me there's only a few possible conclusions from that, or a possible way through that. I'm lost. Let's go this way, Phoebes. One is, of course, that I could be right, and this is the one that I favour personally, if it's me involved in it, that I'm right, my points have been well made, I'm coming from a stronger intellectual position, and the other person who's got Dunning-Kruger or something like that, they don't realise that they've been trounced, and their supporters are equally thick. They don't realise that the person they're cheering on has suffered a miserable defeat. That's possible. I could be right every time, and I often feel that, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't state the ideas in the first place if I didn't think they were at least reasonably correct. So I do think that sometimes. But then, if I'm honest, having read the other person's comments and so on, and the other person watches the person's video, the other possibility does arise. It has to arise, because that's a real possibility, isn't it? That I could be completely wrong. I could be the one that's deluded. I could be the one that's got Dunning-Kruger. All the people that I know could be the one who are similarly afflicted. And the person I'm talking to could actually have all the right points. It doesn't feel right to me. It would feel wrong. It would feel oh my God, that would make no sense. But I have to acknowledge that. That's a possibility. So I could be completely in the right, or the other person could be completely in the wrong. Third possibility is, of course, that we could both be in the wrong. We could just be talking about crap, really, or arguing a point that's irrelevant. One of those arguments like how many angels can dance on the head of a pin, and we're arguing vehemently about this, you and I, and I'm saying it's definitely 6. You're saying no, it has to be a prime number, it's 7. And of course the true answer is there aren't any angels. So it might be that, we might be both be wrong, however vehemently we feel ourselves to be correct. We're both just talking out of our arses. That's a possibility. Or of course we could both be right in a way. This is a tricky one, isn't it? We could both be right. How could we both be right? Well, I think several ways have occurred to me, but there's probably others. One is that we could be talking about the same thing. We could be talking about it. There could be a higher order of explanation which covers both of our individual interpretations, our individual arguments. Trying to think of one that's salient. You know, the mind is a... I don't know, I don't believe either of these, but one person could be arguing that the mind was a kind of disembodied process that happens between world and body or something like that. And another person can say, no, it's not. No, the mind is a information processing system carried out by the neuronal assemblies in the brain. Well, it could be that they're both correct, and there's a higher order of understanding which ropes in both those interpretations, one of which dwells on the physical, one of which dwells on the phenomenological, the embodied. It could be that, couldn't it? That's very possible. Maybe let's go this way. No idea where I am. So it could be that. That would resolve different worldviews, higher order of explanation. Or it could be that both of us are arguing the same thing, but we're using different metaphors, different analogies, and that's leading us to seem like different things are in play. Again, I'm trying to think of an example for that. Yeah, well, like machine metaphors. Rupert Sheldrake uses it in the condemnatory style, but he talks about machine metaphors of the universe. He says things like, you know, physical materialists. He says material scientists regard the universe as a gigantic machine, he says. And he's using it pejoratively. He's trying to invoke in us a sense of a kind of Newtonian steam engine with no sentience at all anywhere within it. But anyway, he says the universe is a big machine. And then you might get Fritjof Capra saying, I think it was Fritjof Capra, saying, well, you know, the universe is more like a giant thought. But both machines and thoughts, when applied to the universe, are metaphors. And necessarily they, you know, prime our intuitions in different ways, they steer us to think about different things. They have their own strengths in the terms of their descriptive power, but they also have their own limitations, don't they? So if you and I are arguing about what the universe is it a machine or is it a thought? Well, we're arguing the metaphor, we're arguing the analogy. We're not arguing the universe, and that's a mistake. So we can both be right in the sense that our metaphor have power, but one doesn't have precedence over the other, unless you're, you know, applying it to particular, to generate particular thoughts. So yeah, we could both be right. I could be right, you could be right. Neither of us could be right. We could both be right.